When riding outdoors during my longer endurance ride, should I focus more on time instead of distance? Wendy?
Again, that's a great question. So let's touch on the hill portion. Hills are great. You only really get experience specifically riding downhill is when you ride your bike outside. You're not going to get that same downhill feel by riding hilly courses indoors, like on a program like Zwift or Trainer Road. So definitely get that hilly experience outside as much as you can for that downhill and the balance. And again, clipping in and clipping out, getting used to that. And riding hills will slow you down. So if you're used to riding courses inside or riding flat courses, you're going to be a little bit faster overall than if you ride a hilly course. So the question of time versus distance, and we talk a lot about this in some of the programs, some of the training programs we created on Training Peaks, is it really could go either way. Your body knows time. So if you're on like a 3-hour ride, some days you might complete 30 or 40 miles on a hilly course in 3 hours. And some days you may complete 40 to 50, maybe even up to 60 miles or more on a flat course, depending on your fitness level. Your body has no idea whether it's ridden 40 miles or 60 miles. Now, so riding by time or distance is definitely just really up to you. If your training plan calls for a 50-mile ride and you're choosing to do it on a more elevated course, and you only have 3 hours, and maybe last week you rode 50 miles in 3 hours, but this week you only rode 40, again, do what you can based on your schedule. And I think more importantly is following intensity levels. Your body knows, is it a 3-hour ride, easy effort? Is it 3 hours of hard effort? So making sure you're following those principles of hard, easy, or moderate effort, and time or distance, it's just preference. Oh, one thing I wanted to say is if you are training for like a 70.3 or 140.6 Ironman distance, then as you get in that race specificity, I think sometimes getting out for longer rides by distance, because you have to complete the distance in a race setting. So at least one ride where you're targeting a certain distance, like 100 miles, is more important than the time. So you just know what it feels like to ride 100 miles if you've never done it before.
Yeah, I'm thinking it depends on what the plan calls for. Like if I go out, I'll go out thinking I'm going to do 20 miles, or I go out hey, I only have so much time. I'm going to go 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back.
Yeah.
Or I'll find my loop, and if I need to get a certain mileage in, personal preference or because the plan calls for it, I get to a certain point and going, okay, I've gone this far. Let me just go an extra mile out and back this way, and that way I make sure I get my full 20, for example. I've only made 9 miles and I'm at my halfway point usually. Well, let me just kind of go over there and come back, and then I'll come back because I know how much I have left over to get back. But yeah, I agree with that. Doing the distance for like the full distance Ironman, you got to get out there and do that.
And even if you're training for a sprint, if you've never ridden a sprint distance, which is 12.4 miles, make sure you do that so you know what it feels like to do 12.4 miles instead of time. Because then again, depending on your fitness level and your experience, if some people will ride 10 miles in 1 hour, some people will ride 10 miles in 30 minutes or less. So whatever you decide to do, kind of keep track of it. Keep track, was my intention today to go by time, or was my intention today to go by distance? So you can look back at your training to determine what's working for you and what's not.
I think about this too when I know ahead of time when I'm going outside. Like let's say we have this Mount Spokane is nearby, it's a Spokane Park, the park area. And I know it's a climb. It's about 12 miles. I mean, there's like an 8 or 10 mile section. It's a gradual incline the entire way. But my plan is to get to that point, no matter how long it takes me, because I know that's the workout. I'm looking to do a gradual hill climb workout that day, or I'm looking to do a hard efforts on a flat surface, so I know my plan going out. Like, all right, I'm going to try to do a hard flat section, however long it takes me to get it, great. Or if I'm going to do some climbs, I'm picking the route based on what I'm doing that day. So whatever, again, this probably falls back on what does the plan call for? Does it call for distance or power or however long you're out there? Then you just pick your route accordingly, I think.